Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is the actor Miles Mussenden from Marvel's Cloak and Dagger coming at you at Comic-Con Radio with my boy Galaxy. We're about to put it down. Let's go!
I suppose the best place to start is with a story.
A story of a girl who looks like an angel and a boy who moves like a shadow.
That sounds crazy.
There are things that I can do.
Look who's been practicing.
No, you don't gotta believe in me, nothing can stop me.
I make knives of light.
I'm giving people something to believe in, I'ma show them freedom like a boat.
I'm making the city a better place. I know what you're gonna say, it's stupid and dangerous.
What I was gonna say is, why didn't you ask me to help? You and me saving the world,
Running away from bullets,
risking your life.
put my family in danger.
Tyrell! They're coming for you! What do?
Fight it.
Man needs a blade for that.
I'm lucky I have you.
Me too.
Did you have to rip it?
You're literally a fashion emergency.
I'll show them what a fight is.
The city is full of monsters. This is a different breed. Louisiana is no stranger to sex trafficking. This is so messed up. Who's taking all those missing girls?
I wanna help. If I don't do it, who's gonna do it?
You've had your chance. It's my turn now.
Who the hell are you?
I'm the one who's gonna find those missing girls. This is mayhem.
I'm defiant, I'll rise in a crisis. I know what the price is.
She slit this guy's throat open with her hand.
I will fight back. I'm the leader of the
Are you with me, or are you gonna slow me down?
Don't do this.
set the flame like a match.
He saved them.
She's not right about this.
What if she is?
I'm the leader of the pack.
What I'm capable of goes both ways. You need to be afraid for your life.
If you let those wounds become scars, you're gonna look at yourself one day and not recognize what you see.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing in for Comic-Con Radio. Coverage of pop culture events from around the globe. Amazing interviews with celebrities. Daily recaps and reviews of popular television. The Walking Dead. Z Nation. Van Helsing. DC Titans. Flash. The Legends of Tomorrow. Black Lightning. American Horror Story. Green Arrow. Movie reviews. Everything Comic-Con and fandom from around the globe. Comic-Con Radio. Get ready to enter our universe. Let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Today's a sunny day here in Los Angeles. The birds are chirping, the sun is out, and we got cloaks and daggers everywhere because we got an amazing guest today. We have Miles Mussenden live from Cloak and Dagger. What's up, Miles? How are you? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Galaxy, I am doing great, man. Get the cloak, get the dagger, man. I'm ready to talk to you guys and chop it up.
That's it, man. Well, you know, I'm a fan of both sides, so I like the cloak and the dagger. What side are you on?
Well, man, I got to side with my son, but I'm on both sides though, too, just like you. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably just go ahead and go with that cloak, and because I'm seeing that it can do more and more powerful things, man. That thing is like a extra fighting machine by itself.
That's right? The cloak can do more, right? Sometimes they say the pen is mightier than the sword.
Absolutely, man. So he not only just disappear and move around, but I see that thing absorb bullets. I saw that thing kind of power people and move things. I'm excited on what more it can do, man. We're just touching the tip of it right now.
It says that you're British born, but you were raised here in the United States. How old were you when you came to America? What city do you reside in?
Whoa, okay. So, yeah, I came a long time ago. I was like 6 years old, man. Came to Brooklyn. Vanderveer housing projects, man, and that was my first stop. Yup, in Vanderveer in Brooklyn. So, I kind of moved around a little bit, but I kind of go back and forth between Atlanta and New York now.
That's wonderful. Both amazing cities, lovely. The cities are booming and growing, and so many amazing projects from both cities happening right now.
I know, man. Yeah, Atlanta's just, I had no idea when I moved here. I came to Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta right now, in fact. I came to Atlanta for the Olympics in like 96, and I was like, whoa, because I was living in Long Island at the time. So I came down to Atlanta, and I saw all these big, beautiful homes and folks walking their dogs. And where I came from, the homes I was looking at, they were like, $2-3 million And this is like, I'm talking 96. They were like $2-3 million homes. I'm like, yo, how is it that everybody's got these $1 million homes? I mean, I got to move down here, and I was loving it. So a few years later, I moved down here, but it was later on when I found out. Well, actually, they were like more like $300,000-$400,000 homes, but they just look like that because where I come from in Long Island, that's how it was. You know?
Yeah, I'm familiar with New York really well, and yeah, homes in Long Island that look like they're worth $4 or $5 million, or are worth $4 or $5 million. In other states, you can get them for less. It's not that it's a lesser home. It's just, property price, costs, all that. So that's pretty cool. Atlanta became your home, and then you got yourself your $4 million house. Of course, not for $4 million.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I got an apartment in Brooklyn, and I got a house in Atlanta.
That's
like
cool. That's cool, man.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
That's amazing to hear that you came across the big pond, the Atlantic Ocean, landed in New York, now reside in Atlanta, and you became Otis Johnson on Marvel's Cloak and Dagger. How did it feel getting a Marvel TV show?
Man, it was a surreal feeling. Man, it's very strange how the whole thing kind of came about, though, because it's interesting that both Aubrey Joseph, that plays Cloak, my son on the show, we were both on hold to play father and son on another show called Mr. Mercedes. So we both were waiting, expecting to do that, and that didn't happen for both of us. It was just very strange. I was just waiting to call it any day. And instead, Cloak and Dagger came, which I didn't know him at the time either. And Cloak and Dagger came, and boom, we both ended up on that show as father and son. So for me, it was just a thing of, I didn't even know. I was auditioning for a lot of stuff at the time. It was pilot season, and so I was going out for a lot of pilots. And I was actually, I didn't realize that my agent was calling me because I turned my phone off because it was testing for 2 pilots that day. So I just turned my phone off so no distractions. So I left New York after those 2 pilot auditions, flying from New York to Atlanta. And it wasn't until I landed that I'm getting all these messages, called my agent, and all this hoopla about, hey, you got to go to LA and test for this untitled Marvel project. So I didn't even remember auditioning. And then it turned out to be this Cloak and Dagger thing, but I had to go shoot this movie in Atlanta, and there was some challenges with that. So we worked it out, man, and end up getting the show Cloak and Dagger, and the whole thing, it's like it was a little surreal just being in that Marvel world, that Marvel universe. To me, it was a surreal thing, man. My world was spinning around because I couldn't tell anybody. Everything was top secret. So it was just me and my wife, and that's it, and my agent. That's the only people that knew. So I'm there dealing with this stuff, man. And I remember I was at the hotel in Louisiana because I found out, and literally maybe 4 days later, I was flown out to New Orleans to start filming the pilot. And I remember being in the hotel, and I got a call from Jeff Loeb. You guys know who Jeff is, right? He's the head of television at Marvel.
Of course.
And so Jeff called and doing some lunch thing the next day or something like that he was inviting me to. But we started talking. I told him, Jeff, I got to tell you, man, it feels surreal. The world is spinning. And Jeff said some things to me that calmed everything down. And he said, hey man, this is an opportunity to do your best work. He talked about the importance of keeping everything a secret and so on. And he said something that was moving in the moment for me. He said, I'm going to tell you 3 words that can change your life. Welcome to Marvel. It's like a drop the mic moment, So it was, and after that, man, I just got really laser focused. Started, kind of get back and reading the script, and not thinking about all the mania of being part of the Marvel universe. And just got into the work, man. So it was exciting times.
That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Yeah. Imagine hearing those words. Welcome to Marvel.
Yes. It still rings in my ears. But in fact, you might have to edit that out because I don't want to spoil it for somebody else if they hear those words when they start working for Marvel.
Did the hairs on your arms go or the hair on your neck raise up? You got goosebumps and chills?
Well, I mean, you know what? It was actually the opposite because I was already hyped up from just being there and, just being all geared up to film. And that kind of just brought me down, kind of like, okay, time to focus. You're in this, let's make sure everything is right. And actually, it's got me, actually made me focus. It made me focus. And it might have did that too much because I remember getting almost depressed because that first, that pilot episode, was when my son Billy, my son on the show, Billy died. So just dealing with that, and I was kind of walking around with that for days and days. Kind of letting that brew and stew. As I'm kind of doing my character work, and I was like, I found myself getting a little depressed about it. So I got to remember sometimes it's just a TV show.
Yeah, but you're feeling it, right? You probably felt it, and you're a professional, and sometimes it gets to you. It gets to the mind and the body and the soul, and that was probably a huge moment because you're on this new show. It's Marvel. They're saying doing the best work, of your life, and then all of a sudden, your kid that portrays your child in the show passes, and then you're like, oh my God, and that affects you. So maybe that did help you act a certain way, right?
Yeah, well, it definitely affected it. It definitely affected it. I kind of feel like I stayed in that headspace a little too long though. Between the time we actually shot those scenes dealing with that stuff, and so it was again a little bit depressing. I'm glad we did it because it dealt with some serious subject matter, and especially with all the folks that have been shot and killed, and the stuff is happening for real. And realizing you were hearing it in the news all the time around that time, and as well. So it just kind of hit home in a certain kind of way.
Do you feel better now?
Oh yeah, I'm good now, man. I got to do exercise.
Let it all out, baby. Let it all out. Galaxy is here for you.
It's all good. It's a TV show, and I just have to remember that it's acting. Sometimes you fool your brain, you fool your heart into thinking this stuff is really real.
Well, yeah, you're a professional make-believer, and sometimes you trick yourself, right? Because your mind, you tell yourself, hey, play this role, be this person. You make this world up in your mind because you got to show us, the viewers, what's up, and you start believing in yourself. And that's pretty crazy. That's pretty amazing, man, because that shows the depth of where your mind can go when you're acting, Miles. So that's pretty cool, man. We got to give you two thumbs up for that.
No, I think that's what most of us do, man. It's cool and scary at the same time, man. You bring that stuff home to your family sometimes. It's like, okay, dude, this is another reality here. So, just the third line sometimes, you know what I mean?
I've been chatting with so many guests, hundreds for so many years now on the shows, and I haven't once had a artist like yourself, an actor, actress, say this. And I've been wanting to ask that, but I don't really want to because, that's personal. But for you to bring that out, that's pretty cool. This is something that I've been wanting to bring out to the fans for years, that playing a role on a TV show or a movie can really affect you deeply, mentally and physically. And it's amazing that you brought it out because it's a very big deal. And especially that situation, it probably triggered certain things in you because a lot of these shows these days, they're superhero shows, Marvel, whatever, DC, this and that. But it brings in what's happening in the world, the reality of it. And to affect you like that, that shows the open heart that you have for what's up and what's going on.
Yeah, man, I feel like we owe it to the people to kind of give a real sense of these things. It can't be really manufactured moments, man, because, unfortunately, a lot of these things are happening in people's lives for real. And if you want to reflect it back, I think it has to be real. I think about my first television show. I recorded a show called Army Wives so years ago. I was a notification officer that had to let the ladies know that their son died, in the war and all that kind of stuff. And man, that thing, I was dreaming it, it was like, this stuff can affect you. But I also find that a lot of times, man, I take the best things out of these characters, and it helps me be better. I can be a better dad. You know what I'm saying? I catch myself with certain things. So it has its pluses and it has its minuses.
That's pretty cool, man. I understand. That's just crazy because you were in Army Wives and you had to give bad news, and you were on that show, and that was dealing with, law enforcement issues and stuff like that. But I get it. It shows what kind of person you are. I know who you are now, Miles. You're a very good-hearted guy you're a feely person. Can you say you're a type of person that feels the situation in the crowd first before even someone says anything? Like you kind of sense their sadness or excitement or things like that. Is that the type of person you are?
I'd say yeah, pretty much, man. It's from the time I was a kid, man. It was a little. I don't know what this is, but it's like if somebody was like even like somebody didn't have an arm or something like that. It's almost like I can feel it on my arm, not having an arm. It's just a very strange thing, and I didn't know. It's a little weird kind of feeling, and it's probably not good. So I guess, and I always thought I did not have enough empathy because I grew up in Brooklyn, man. And you see so much, I don't know what language I can use on the radio show here. So you see so much ish, I put it that way, going on all the time that it's kind of become hardened and cold to certain things. But it turns out that I do have empathy. I'm able to identify and feel and understand. So, yeah, I have to agree with your statement.
Having empathy is amazing. Sometimes I get like that, too. I look at something and I'm like, oh, I wish that never happens, or I feel so bad for that person or this or that. And then I have to, take a minute to get it out of my mind, clear my mind space. So I totally understand what you're saying. Here's the thing. Cloak and Dagger is an amazing show. It's doing wonderful. And earlier on, you said that you and Aubrey was supposed to be father and son on another show, but you guys didn't even know that. How cool and how crazy and how rare is that?
Man, it is very cool, very rare, and very crazy because it's not only that would happen with that other show that we didn't do, but also there was other things in that we have so many things in common that we're both grew up in Brooklyn. His dad and my dad are both. There's a country in South America, the second poorest country in South America called Guyana, and both of our dads are from Guyana. So we have this little Caribbean background thing. We have this Brooklyn thing, and so we have this music thing because I used to be in the music business, and he's into the whole music business now as well. So we just had a lot of things in common that we were able to hit it off really well, and it's a beautiful thing.
That's pretty cool. And you're married to Gloria Rubin on the show. How's it working with her?
Man, Gloria's a powerhouse, man. I think she's underrated. Gloria is amazing, man. And sometimes I go to set just to watch her work because it's just art, and it's great working with her. I think in season 2, for some reason, we end up getting even closer, so, our relationship has grown, and I mean, man, I love Gloria, man, she's really a really great person to work with, and just a beautiful artist, man. She gives so much.
Since you're a very empathetic person, and you're very visual and mental, and I know she's your wife on the TV series, do you sometimes in your mind are like, okay, she's my wife on the show? Does it take a little bit after your scenes are done to be like, okay, get back into reality? Or you kind of sometimes it takes you a while to be like, okay, that's not my wife. This is not my son. I got to go.
Well, interestingly enough, and I do, I don't know if I should be saying this, but sometimes in the past anyway, I've had a little bit of separation, I guess, or anxiety to call it, when working with people, and then, then we're like, okay, back to our regular lives. So it's a little weird. But with Gloria, and as far as the husband and wife thing, we didn't have a whole lot of scenes that was very intimate, because of what we went through with the family and with the loss and all that kind of stuff. Our marriage has been somewhat fractured. It's been hurt. It's been traumatized by the loss of Billy.
Yeah.
So we have not, the way we've been handling it, we have not been the most intimate of married couples. So it didn't really affect me in that way. But at the same time, like in season 2, I do feel like I miss her, because, we're not together. We kind of separated after what happened with Tyrone. So yes and no. I'm good, but yeah, Gloria is my people, man. I love her in real life, love her on the show, and but I'm able to turn that thing off and separate, and just when we're not working, I can just give her a call on the birthday. We can send a couple of messages on social media, and we're good until the next time we see each other.
Isn't that cool? Social media and mobile phones. You don't even have to call somebody. You just send them a message and say, hey, what's up? Let's do this. Let's go from there. Actually, I wanted to bring that up because we appreciate you a lot. One of our producers reached out to you, and you were gracious enough to say, hey, what's up? We didn't have to go through 9 agents and 10 managers and have 3 people sitting on the phone call listening to usually that happens. I want the people to know that out there. I want all the fans to know that sometimes when we have guests on the show and we chat, there's 5 people listening in, making sure everything sounds perfect. And, thank God I've never had any issues, but But you're kind, man. You're gracious. Thank you so much for wanting to be part of our show and taking your time, because I know you guys are so busy doing 1,000 things and one. You know what I'm saying?
Man, yeah. Well, hey, man, thanks, Galaxy. Well, first of all, let me just say shout out to Icon, to Icon PR for, yeah. So usually they are on the phone, I must admit, but yeah, man, you guys reached out, man. I mean, I love what y'all are doing. I'm just happy to be able to jump on with you all, man.
I love that, man. Yeah, we've worked with Icon many times, so they're cool, and you're cool too. There's a TV show I wanted to talk to you about that I thought should have lasted forever. I love that show personally. I don't know if other people, but it's Containment. I thought that show was going to go on, man. You were cool on that show.
Thank you. Me too, man. I was shocked. Yeah, I was shocked, man. It just never, I guess it never caught on and never got that audience, man. I'm not sure why. I had a lot of friends on the show, and I enjoyed the show as a viewer. And man, it was shooting in. I prefer to be in Atlanta. That show was shooting in Atlanta, so I was like, okay, cool. I got at least one show I could do this right here in Atlanta. But yeah, man, it just went away, man. It was a great show. It was a great idea, and they have a counterpart of it, I think, in one of those European countries. I can't remember where it is, but they have a version of it, a European version of it that seems to have done very well. But I don't know, it didn't catch on here.
It was a good show, and since that show, you've been gracing the pages of Marvel a lot. You were in Luke Cage, you were in Spider-Man, now Cloak and Dagger, and that's pretty cool, man. Do you see yourself in the Marvel world? Would you ever work with DC? Is that a question you can answer?
Well, I mean, I've been contacted from DC, and I've never gone that direction. But so I'm gonna leave it at that. Who knows what the future will bring? But right now,
you're like, why did you ask me that question?
Yeah, right now I'm loving Marvel, and I'm loving the MCU, man. And shout out to Joe Pakaski and Jeff Lowe, man.
Let me tell you this, man. Let me tell you this. Marvel, their movies are absolutely amazing. I got to give it up to the DC TV shows. I think DC television is amazing. I love DC movies, but their TV shows are like huge to us. But Cloak and Dagger, and there's one other Marvel TV show that has changed. I think for us, Marvel television, you guys are like the turning point to say, okay, now you're catching up with your movies, your show. I'm telling you that.
Yeah, when we were shooting the pilot, and I went on. I was doing an interview on set, and after Joe Pataski, our showrunner, he was being interviewed as well. So when we finished, we were able to talk a little bit, and we just kind of sitting back and looking and saying, and Joe said, man, I can't believe they let us do this, because what they were allowing us to shoot and do, was beyond what he even expected and thought they would allow, man. So yeah, I felt like we have a level of realness to the show, man, and I love it. Can't wait till even more people catch wind of it. I almost feel like it's almost like still a good, well-kept secret.
Of course, absolutely. And you know what? I think having Olivia Holt on the show really has affected it as well.
Olivia's been doing a phenomenal job, man. I didn't know Olivia, so I didn't meet her until the pilot, and I got to hang out. We all were hanging out a lot during the shooting of the pilot. My knowledge of the Disney shows, I mean, I got a couple of kids, and what I would see on TV, I had a certain thing in my mind about the type of acting that happens on the Disney shows, that cater to the kids and that type of thing. But man, when I saw the work that she was doing on Cloak and Dagger, it was like, holy, wow, no, this is not your kiddie Disney stuff. This girl she got some guns, man. She came to work.
This ain't the Disney Channel anymore, right?
Right, yeah, no, yeah. Olivia's coming with the heat, man.
She's got it, huh? Like a bullet, boom. In.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Man, you, since season 1, you changed a lot. I seen you in season 1 on the show. I saw you grow. It was a lot of, like you said, something happened with Billy, growing, kind of getting your foot in. Towards the end of season 1, it showed a different side of Otis. And then now in season 2, absolutely different. Have you seen that transition yourself as well?
I think it's something that I might have in real life is post-traumatic stress. And Otis has just been through, the whole family, man, has been through a lot because, you got, as a father, man, you got to protect your kids, man. So to lose one is devastating enough, but then to have your other son on the run from the police, and you can't see him, and it's like you almost failed as a father. You feel like you failed as a man, and so it's all kinds of madness going through your head. And then you can't keep your marriage together, so you can't hold your wife down either. So yeah, Otis is gonna change, man, and dealing and still trying to figure out how to navigate through what's going on.
Yeah, I've noticed that, man. And I saw that you turned to a more cooler side towards the end of season 1 when you took your son and you showed him what's up with your old neighborhood and stuff like that. I think he needed a dose of that. And you showed what's up. Yeah. There was actually a whole lot more to that they didn't show. I don't think Joe wants me to tell you guys. But there was some real stuff going on with that one, man. But you can't tell us anything, huh? You can't.
No. Yeah, I guess whatever we do. I asked him
It'll
before.
Get everywhere. It'll get everywhere.
Yeah. I asked Joe. He wanted me to keep under wraps, man. But man, I could not wait for that episode to come out because we had a lot going on. In fact, I even got injured on set, because with the stunts and all the things that were involved. But I
no
think
way, really?
It made more. Yeah.
What happened? What happened?
Man, when you talk to Joe Pekaski, ask Joe. And if he doesn't tell you, whenever he releases me, I will make sure I call you first, Galaxy, and let you know what happened that day.
Oh, man.
Yep.
That's what we do. You're on the show. You're limited to what you can say. And exactly another thing to it, you're limited to what you know as well. I know you guys sometimes don't even know what's going on in the entire season. You get fed little by little. But the showrunners who we need to squeeze because they got everything. And I usually get some showrunners on and then we just let it open and we're like, what's this? What's that? But one of my producers is writing notes. We want to get Joe on and talk to him about all that, especially.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
You gotta get Joe. But good luck with that, man. I like at the beginning of this season, I'm talking to Joe, Joe trying to get an idea because Joe was calling me. He wanted to have we were supposed to have a phone conference or whatever, but I was traveling to Jamaica and this and that, and I know he tried to call, and anyway, I didn't get him, and we didn't end up talking. So when I finally got a hold of Joe, I'm like, Joe, so I'm trying to find out, okay, what's going on with Karen for this season, and he didn't want to tell me, so I'm pressing him. Joe proceeds to tell me this whole thing and talk me through the whole of season 2. But as we were shooting and as we went through the whole thing, and I so appreciated Joe sharing everything with me, but as every script I read, I realized that everything Joe told me was a lie. He made it all up. He made it all up and made a fool out of me, man.
You were all excited. You knew everything, and then it's flipped.
Right. I'm in the know. I'm brushing my shoulders off, man, and this dude played me.
Marvel's sneaky, man. They got some tricks up their sleeves, these guys.
Wow, yeah. Everything is just top secret with Marvel, man. But, I think it pays off, though, because we don't know, and, and a lot of things I don't want to know, so it has its benefits,
Well, with these days, man, with all the leak and internet, social media, things get leaked out too quick. Everybody's trying to become popular of somebody else's, news and information and stuff like that. And we here at Comic-Con Radio, we respect keeping our mouths zipped. We know so much. We see episodes in advance. We don't release anything. The reason why is because we want everybody to feel the freshness of it, the entirety, the trueness of it. And that's a cool thing that they keep that hush because there's fans out there that know more than some of these showrunners and directors about those characters and shows because they're so well versed into it. So that they got to keep it top secret,
Yeah, makes sense. So I'm just going with the flow, man. Do my part to not say what I shouldn't say. Yeah.
Do you have any cool projects in the works right now, other than Cloak and Dagger?
Man, in fact, I'm just reading a script. Before I called you, I was reading a script. So I'm looking for something. It's in the works. And I do have a project. Heather. That's a little indie film that I did that's probably coming out at some point soon. I don't know if they're going to the festivals or what exactly is happening with Heather, but my understanding is Tony Rapinski. He was one of the Navy SEALs, got Osama bin Laden. But anyway, he's a director producer now, and so I did that Heather film with him. So hopefully something good will happen with that. And man, I'm just I'm looking for that right one and hoping that we get a good match. We'll see what happens, man, because I'm excited about whatever the next project is going to be.
I see you in a lot of amazing roles. I see you in the next Black Panther movie. You fit so perfect as maybe a royal or something like that. I see you as a police detective. I see you as so many different roles. You have that face, man. You could be anything, man.
Yeah, well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I wanted to be in Black Panther so bad, and I was calling my agent, like call casting, because I did Spider-Man, which my agent didn't want me to do, but we only ended up doing one of the scenes that I had, and I was telling my agent, hey, my face wasn't even in it. Nobody will know I was in it because I had a hat on. I only did one scene where they were just establishing me. We never did the rest. Blah blah blah, and they didn't work, man. Nobody was trying to hear it. So I couldn't get in Black. I wanted to be in Black Panther. I knew before it happened that it was going to be a big deal because I know that people have been longing for something like that to come out. So yeah, it came out and it was a big deal, and it still is a big deal. So who knows? Maybe Black Panther 2. Who knows?
Who knows, man? And they're all coming out of the woodworks. There's so many new characters coming out, so many new amazing things. There's a new project, I believe, called Secret Wars, and I hope that comes out, and that has everyone in it. And I can't wait for Secret Wars to come out, so you should look out for that one, man, because I heard in the next
Really? Is that a Marvel project?
It's a Marvel, yeah. So basically, Secret Wars is X-Men, Fantastic Four, and everybody that's in like the Avengers movies, like Spidey and Iron Man, all that, all together at once, battling an evil. That's probably super duper. So it's called Secret Wars, and that series, I actually have the entire collection in mint condition, and I've been waiting for that for the past 20 years, and I heard that in the next 5 to 8 years they might come out with that. So I don't know, man.
Wow. I don't know either. I'm like, I don't even know how they do that, because even with the Infinity Wars, there was so many characters and so many things that it gets a little tricky to keep up and tell all these stories with all these different characters. So I can't even imagine with like a whole bunch more. But I know Marvel. If anybody can do it, Marvel can.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? I know in Avengers, Iron Man is gone, and, Captain America got to old age. But you know what? They have time machines now, and they have all sorts of stuff. So you never know what they might do to bring these characters back. So, because, look at it this way. I heard Avengers made in the first 14 days $2.3 billion. They're not going to let stuff like that go.
Yeah. Actually, you're right. That's true. That's a lot of money out there. So yeah, you're right. Just business wise, they have to find a way to get it done.
Of course. And with yourself, is there a particular director that you like to work with that you're like, I love this director, that I want to work with this person?
Wow. Man, there are a few people that I'd like to work with. I've been fortunate to work with some good people already, but I don't want to call the big names, man. That everybody,
I gotcha.
But
you want to be like everybody else. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, but there's some great directors out there. In fact, I'm reading the script right now for a project, and these guys did a little show called The Change Up, and man, I love the writing on there. I love what they did on it. It reminded me so much of the people I grew up with in Brooklyn. It's like these writers. Like, how did the writer, as a white guy too, I'm like, how did he write this stuff? Like, how does he know? It's like he knew the voices, and as I'm reading, as I watched the show, and I also auditioned for that show as well, everything that was being said and the way it was being said, I knew it and understood it intuitively, just from growing up in the hood. And I just didn't understand how he knew to write that and how he got that. But they got this other show called Reprisal, man. So I'm hoping that, I'd love to work with those guys on that. So that's what I'm looking at right now, in fact.
Well, I hope they're listening, and if they do, they were like, "Hey, Miles is the man. We got him."
Yeah, man. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens with that.
We'll see what happens. Because everything has to work out. They also have to work out with the show that I'm on now. And that's been, that can always be challenging. But we'll see,
We'll see what's up. Yeah, you know what? It's gonna happen. Is there anybody on cast that you've really connected with in the first and second season?
Yeah, man. Andrea Ross and I are really, really cool, man. Really, really, really close. I just kind of just happened from the very first day. We had a connection, and it just stays until now, man. So I talked to her, and we did a lot of interviews together, tons of interviews together. So maybe that was one of the things that kind of just drew us close, because they would always pair us up. And then I like the first season especially, I had a really tight thing with Aubrey, because we were both in Brooklyn, and and just stuff, and he was excited about the show coming out. We can only talk to each other, so about the show. So he and I would spend a lot of time together, and we'd go eat and talk and kick it and all that kind of stuff. And during the shooting of the after the pilot, we started season 1. I had it would be Emma, myself, and Carl. We would hang out every 2 days or so. We'd be down on the Beale Street in the French Quarter, and we'd be hanging out and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, man, with a few of them. But I guess the closest one I have to say is probably Andrea.
That's pretty cool, man. It's crazy that she's the mom of your son's dagger partner. So.
I know. Yeah. I was telling my wife, I was looking at this picture. I thought it was myself and Andrea in one of our interviews, but it was Aubrey and Olivia. It's like, oh, look at that, that's crazy. I mean, I might need to put my glasses or something like that, but I thought it was Andrea and I, but it was those two. So that was pretty interesting. I was okay. I guess we were the older version of the Cloak and Dagger.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's pretty cool. It's good knowing all these things, and what you've shared so far is amazing. Is there any fun times on the scene, something really funny that you can share that was like, oh my God, I got to share this story? Lips are sealed.
Joe, first of all, Joe is always a clown on this set. He's always funny, but what I can tell you, like this season in episode 5. In episode 5, we had that's the episode where Connors where Tyrone brings Connors to the house. He brings him to the Ninth Ward. Where I'm there with working on the costume and all that kind of stuff, working on a suit. And during that scene, man, we're shooting, and there's a portion, I don't know if you remember, where he hands me a knife. Choo-Choo, the character Choo-Choo, hands me a knife. And we go to open the door, and we hear somebody banging the door, like somebody about to break in or something. So he's handing me this knife, and we go into the door. So we're shooting the scene. They keep shooting it over and over for some reason, getting different angles. And I guess we kind of just got used to the flow of this handoff and get up and walk. Then he's handing me the knife. We get up and walk at the door. But this time he didn't flip the knife around so I could grab it from the handle. He kept the point straight. So I'm sticking my hand to grab it. He's sticking his hand to give it to me. Boom, that knife goes straight inside my hand, man. It goes straight inside my hand, and it was an initial shock, but then I try to, watch some of these stories, I guess it gets to my head somehow, because I remember, like, Leo DiCaprio, he was cut in the Django Unchained. So, and he kept working, he kept doing the show. So, I said, okay, well, if he could do it, I could do it. So I didn't make it a thing. I just took the pain, took the knife, and try to continue the scene. But there was too much blood.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was too much blood, and so we end up cutting. But we got the whole scene though. We wrapped it up, stopped the blood, got everything under control, and did it. So it wasn't funny, but it was definitely an interesting turn of events that day.
That's a crazy story. People don't understand. Sometimes you guys use real knives on set, and it can cut you, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. That thing stabbed me, man. But it wasn't even that bad. It went like maybe a quarter way into my hand. But I guess where it hit, just a lot of blood came out. And it just but at the end of the day, I didn't even have to go to the hospital, do all that kind of stuff.
Just washed it off, and I said, "That's it. I'm gonna wrap it up, and let's do the scenes."
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
I think I would have handled some things a little bit differently. You'll come to see. Yeah, I can't say now, but some things that are going on, Miles would have handled differently, I think. Gotcha. I mean, I guess you don't really know what you would do in certain situations, but I think my instincts would have had me do something a little bit different than what the script called for. So
Gotcha.
I can't really say it. It really, and this season is really a lot about the action and really about Cloak and Dagger and mayhem. So I don't know if we got to really explore that and get deep into that for season 2.
That's pretty cool that you can say that if you in real life would have handled it differently because the real you would have thought differently because of how you grew up, your background, where you came from. You're like, I would have handled that totally differently.
Well, maybe not totally. I just somewhat. Like it might have been a nuanced thing as well. But because Otis and I actually do have some similarities. I grew up in a little bit of a rough background too. So as Otis did, he grew up in the 9th Ward, and so he's been through and seen some things,
And those things make you who you are today, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so, man. All we're more than some of our parts, but it definitely affects and informs who we are today. I agree. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, what your background is, everything you grew up seeing makes you who you are today. If maybe one of those things didn't happen, maybe there would have never been the situations. I see it that way, but you turned out amazing, man.
Thank you.
You're a very cool dude. We love you on the show. It wouldn't be the same without you. And
nice.
You're doing amazing. Is there anything you want to tell the fans out there?
Hey, man, I want to tell the fans, please keep watching the show. Let your friends know how great this show is, man. I think enough people just don't know. Because I'm expecting more folks. I'm like more interaction, more everything. So I think I love y'all. I appreciate you guys being there, hanging in there, man. I'm looking forward to doing a lot more. And us having some great seasons, some great stuff for you guys to see.
Thank you so much. It's been amazing. And if they want to reach you, Miles, how can they reach you on social media?
Man, please hit me up. I'm on Instagram. My IG is Miles Mussenden. Miles Mussenden. All the social media is, Facebook and Twitter. Miles Mussenden is my handle on all of them. Please reach out. Yeah, I interact. I'm somewhat reachable. So please do.
That's cool, man. Yeah, you are. Yeah. You're a great person. You're very reachable. But yeah, of course, don't send you any crazy stuff because you ain't gonna open that. But
yeah. I get a lot of weird pictures and stuff like that, man. It's like I don't need any nude pictures. That kind of stuff. But anything normal is we can rock.
That's it. Anything normal, ladies and gems, please send it out. Please reach out to Miles. It's Miles Mussenden. That's on Instagram, Twitter. Reach out, say what's up, follow, watch Cloak and Dagger. It's an amazing series. It's on Thursdays. It's a Marvel show, and it's doing stupendous. Miles, you're amazing on it. Thank you so much for coming on Comic-Con Radio. And we're going to sign out now. You ready, my man?
I'm ready, man. Thank y'all, Galaxy. Thank you, Comic-Con Radio, man. I'm loving it, man. Thank y'all for thinking about me and reaching out.
That's great. Let's do this. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is your boy Galaxy with Miles Mussenden on another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. And we're signing out and giving you guys peace, love, and a million kisses. You ready, Miles? 3, 2, 1. Mwah. That's it. Take those kisses, gals, and whoever out there. Keep him. Watch Cloak and Dagger. Follow Miles. Support his career. He's an amazing guy. Thank you for all your kind words, Miles. You're the best. We can't wait to have you back on the show and chat with you on your other major projects. And we appreciate you so much.
Thank you, Galaxy, man. Talk to y'all soon.
You got it. All right, ladies and gems. Peace out.
Peace.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Tune in for your daily shows of Comic-Con Radio. Go to comiccon-radio.com. Reach us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Comic-Con Radio. You can call us toll-free right now. 800-976-0305. 800-976-0305. Comic-Con Radio, taking the world one listener at a time.